Hello everyone, very warm welcome to all of you to India's largest online education portal. Yes, the name is crystal clear, that is Unacademy, and what Unacademy has to offer you. So once again, we have shined in the 2023 UPSC CSE with All India rank 6, 1, 3 and 9 being the Unacademy learners. So guys, do not miss the opportunity. As you can see, 4 in top 10, 11 in top 20 and 320 overall candidates they have qualified with an academy just this year. So guys, quickly grab the opportunity, come to an Academy Plus platform and learn with the top educators of the nation with regard to the UPSC CSE. So moving forward with today's topic, and this is what you can see on your screens. So a military vehicle which is having some missiles over it, right? YJ-18, that's written the missile name and whose missiles it is. These are the Chinese missiles. So is China going ahead with the war preparation? Answer stands something like this. So is rapidly China is rapidly expanding its carrier killer missiles to keep US Navy at bay. This is what right now we have to look today towards the Chinese missiles, okay, and Chinese misadventures. Firstly, towards the northeast of our country, then towards the South China Sea, then creating the string of pearls, and right now creating tensions with America with regard to its actions near the Taiwan Strait. Okay, so anti-ship missiles. This is what YJ-18, DF-21 that we'll be discussing today. These are what ASMs, that is anti-ship missiles. Okay, and what is China trying to do? Nothing but just counter America's expansion towards the east. So let's see the whole scenario, the whole news, what it is all about. So in a tale of two superpowers and their misadventures, I will call it, okay, and their smaller counterparts, the world watches with bated breath as Russia wages war against Ukraine and China escalates its military posturing towards Taiwan. See, ये जो हमारी खूबसूरत सी दुनिया है ना, it's a very beautiful world, but unfortunately this beautiful world is not able to breathe honestly in very comfort, right? एक कंफर्टेबल ब्रीदिंग हम नहीं ले पाते हैं. कभी हमें जो है स्टॉक मार्केट का टेंशन, कभी हमें पोल्यूशन का टेंशन, कभी रिलीजन, कभी कास्ट, कभी कुछ तो कभी कुछ. And when you talk about this thing globally, then also the world is, the piece of this world is hindered or divided into pieces. The piece is divided into pieces. The most sarcastic statement here, right? How? Because what we have seen that in last couple of years, Russia has taken an active measures with regard to war and tax, and nevertheless, the biggest ally of Russia, that is China, is also moving on the same pages. Isn't it like they both have joined hands together? And one is saying that I'll take care of the Europe and the Eurasian region, you take care of the West. Something that is what is going on between these two friendly nations, these two friendly communist nations. Though they are not against capitalism, though they are not against socialism, but yes, they do wage war against the most capitalist states so far what we have seen as United States of America. So the latest chapter unfolded how with China's joint sword exercise that is known as 224 capital A. Okay, that's a bold move just days after. Okay, days after what? Lai Ching-te's inauguration as Taiwan's president. Okay, so Taiwan has got a new president, and the name of the new very president is Lai Ching. Okay, Lai Ching-te's, who China already consider as a person that is separatist, that is talking about Taiwan's separation, official separation from China. Okay, so Taiwan's president is someone who is not liked by Chinese officials, and hence immediately after Mr. Lai Ching took the throne of Taiwan, okay, the government throne of Taiwan, obviously, China unfolded its Navy operation, it's Navy exercise or operation, sorry, Navy exercise known as Joint Sword 224 capital A. Okay, so what's the repercussions on this? It's just the military exercise, a Navy exercise. Then what's the problem? The problem is with regard to China's futile and hostile intentions. That's what we can see here. This is something which is very disturbing and terrifying as well. This data on your screens. Beijing justified the drills. See this thing here, the audacity of China for now. Beijing, that is China, justified the drills as what? Punishment. They said it's just a drill, but on the very contrary, they're also calling it as punishment for Lai's defiant declaration that two sides of Taiwan Strait are not subordinate to each other, right? So China officially claims Taiwan's acquisition, whereas Taiwan claims to be an independent nation with independent foreign policies and so on. So who is right? Is it China or is it Taiwan? So that's not our discussion for today. Okay, but yes, in a nutshell, it's Taiwan which is right, which is correct. Okay. So talking about now Mr. Lai's defense declaration that two sides of the Taiwan Strait, they are not subordinate to each other. That is, China is saying that dear Taiwan, you are my territory. Okay, we are one China. And Taiwan, on the contrary, says, dear China, no, we are not one. We have a border in between that is known as Taiwan Strait. We are not counterparts to each other. We are counterparts to each other basically. We are not the same country. But China is not ready to admit that. Okay. So just like Pakistan was doing in Balochistan, Pakistan is doing with the POK, though they have officially right now admitted into their Islamabad High Court that no, POK is officially not the Pakistani territory, and it's a foreign territory. Okay. So coming to today's point here, okay, what we need to discuss, what we need to see further, as it's terrifying. I spoke a couple of minutes back. So meanwhile, Taiwan's defense forces tracked a formidable armada that is a series of vehicles that we call it as armada. Okay, so armada of what? 49 Chinese aircraft near the Taiwan Strait, 19 naval ships, and 7 Coast Guard vehicles near the territorial waters of Taiwan, which is a big threat. And this Taiwan, who is now the close ally to China's biggest enemy, that is known as United States of America, right? So this is what Taiwan is having, the alliance with whom? America. And with the American alliance, the Chinese military is playing games, calling their own military drill, their own navy drill as punishment to the Taiwan's independent president, Mr. Lai. Okay, so this is something which US sees as a threat against itself, as China is threatening the US ally. So as you can see, the statement here, as the chess pieces move across the board, the United States prepares for a potential conflict in response to China's extensive military drills around Taiwan. Obviously, US will come into the action. Okay, so this is what in April 2024, Rear Admiral Mike Studman, a former admiral in charge of US Navy intelligence, warned that Chinese military forces are preparing for an invasion or blockade of Taiwan. And the very same thing happened in the following months. That is in the month of June, what we are watching today. The 2 months old prediction by the former Admiral Mike Studman of US Navy, okay, gave 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 the prediction, and it came to be true in just less than 2 months. Okay, so this is what Taiwan is threatened with: China's actions of blocking the Taiwan's international borders, that is specifically questioning the authority of US, or actually the hegemony of the US in the Far East as well as the West. So talking about the comparison of naval capabilities, right? So as of 2024, The Chinese Navy is the second largest in the world, no doubt in that. The first being America and second being China. Okay. Now, what's the problem? Further problem. So, according to US intelligence agencies and their official research offices, China's navy is by far the largest of any country in East Asia. In fact, we, that is India, we are also behind China in the comparison of navy power. So between now another threatening problem here is between 2015 and 20, it surpassed the US Navy in the number of battle forces ships. So when you talk about how many number, like who is having the most number of battleships, so it is not the US, it's the China. And China's navy is now the largest in the world, boasting a battle force of over 370 platforms. Okay, so what they have got? They have got near about 60 Hubei class patrol combatant ships, that is actually anti-ships cruise missiles. And the overall battle force of China's navy is projected to grow 395 ships by 2025. That is within the next 8-10 months we can see that, and 435 ships further by 2030. So China, in its ambition of creating the modern Silk Route, is having all of the resources as of now, what we can see, and can cross any lines in order to accomplish the dream of the modern Silk Route, starting from South China Sea, extending towards the Gulf of Eden, and then crossing the Mediterranean to the other areas of Antarctic and Atlantic. Okay, so this is what the Silk Route China is trying to make. So the Chinese administrative authorities, that is starting from Xi Jinping to their other ministries, okay, from president to other ministries, what we can see once again from the region of South China Sea, okay, starting from the South China Sea towards the Middle East, okay, from Middle East, that is to River Nile crossing the Africa towards the sea that is known as Mediterranean Sea. Okay, they are trying to create a route that is roadways network as well as the waterways network. Okay, not just the Mediterranean is just one halt in between. They will cross even the Mediterranean and move towards the other Scandinavian nations as well. Okay, but as of now, the Silk Route is now this what we have seen so far. In that, they have also created something that is also troubling to Indian nation, that is to us, that is known as a string of pearls. Okay, so that string of pearls, we'll discuss it in some another session. Okay, but today we have to discuss some another point. Okay, so the first thing that comes here, okay, कि हमारी समस्या हमारा समाधान कौन करेगा, तो उसके लिए आपको पता है कि अनअकैडमी से बेस्ट आपके पास कुछ नहीं है. So as you can see, okay, अनअकैडमी समाधान, what it is: full syllabus coverage, daily MCQs, answer writing practice, revision, updated current affairs, live classes by top educators, handouts after every class, latest trend of CSAT, okay, there you will be taught for, prelims and mains test series, and major optionals also prevalent, along with dedicated doubt solving session. Last but not the least, as it is always stated, a dedicated doubt solving session. Okay, so this is what we need to understand, that's offering from the academy. Okay, so moving forward, see the next deadly state, the data is here. The Chinese Navy currently has two aircraft carriers in service. Okay, that is in the name of Liaoning. Okay, guys, please remember the name, and Shandong. So Liaoning and Shandong, what they are, the two aircraft carriers, okay, of China, as we have got in India, INS Vikrant. Okay, just like that, China is also having its Chinese naval ship CNS Liaoning and Shandong. Okay, so what we can see in May 2024, China's third and most advanced aircraft carrier, known as Fujian, embarked on its first sea trial. Okay, so technically China is having three, okay, literally three aircraft carriers in service. One is Liaoning, Second one is Shandong, and the most fresh and the most advanced, obviously, which is the fresh, it will be advanced for sure. That is Fujian. Okay, it has successfully had its sea trial. So in comparison, as of January 29, 2024, the US Navy comprised 292 battle force ships, and the Navy's financial year 2024 budget submission anticipates a fleet of 290 battle force ships by the end of financial year 2030. But this is 290. What China is going ahead with by 230 by the year 2030 is near about 435. That is far more in numbers as compared to China, as compared to the US, right? So this is where the tensions they are sparking between these two nations. Okay, and apart from that, we are also about to have the US administration having, being changed in the upcoming following years for sure. Okay, so it may be the possibility that Donald Trump comes back to the power, and if that happens, that would be not a good news for the geopolitics. As we know, that guy is a bit lunatic. Okay, paranoid at its best and lunatic at its heights, right? So, moving forward, China's arsenal of anti-ship weapons is formidable and in many respects superior to that of the US. This is what the US agencies they have stated. It is not the Chinese agency's statement. This is the US intelligence agency's statements, and this is threatening to the whole globe. And according to the US Department of Defense, China conducted, now see guys, this is literally threatening from China and a very shocking data. China conducted more than 135 ballistic missiles live firings, that is for the sake of testing and training in just year 2021. How many? 131. And what is the surprising fact? The next line. Surprising the rest of the world combined, including the conflict zones. मतलब conflict zones में, war zones में और दुनिया भर में जितनी कंट्रीज ने अपना जो है मिसाइल टेस्ट नहीं किया होगा या मिसाइल लॉन्च नहीं किया होगा, उससे कहीं ज्यादा चाइना ने अकेला टेस्ट किया है 135 इन द ईयर 2021. रियली थ्रेटनिंग. दुनिया भर की सरकारों ने जितना टेस्ट नहीं किया है, इनफैक्ट कॉन्फ्लिक्ट जोन्स में जितने मिसाइल्स लॉन्च नहीं हुए हैं, उससे ज्यादा अकेले मिसाइल ने चाइना ने टेस्ट फायर किए मिसाइल्स को. एंड व्हाट इज दैट? जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ सुप्रीमेसी, countering America's adventures in the East and the West and the Europe as well. So that is why they are known by the Chinese government as carrier killers. So China has significantly expanded its stockpile of anti-ship ballistic missiles. So what they are known as the carrier killers, anti-ship ballistic missiles. So guys, just please remember, if you are asked this question, what is the other name for anti-ship ballistic missiles? So it is known as carrier killers. Okay, carrier killers, and that is mostly in China. 135 testing in just one single year. That is far more than the whole world's combined, including the conferences. Right, everyone? So this brings us to another thing. What is the value of 1 rupee? What 1 rupee can buy for you? So 1 rupee can buy for you a test series which is actually costing 3499. Okay, but you will get it in just one single rupee. That is GS plus CSAT live full length tests, complete syllabus coverage tests. It is available in Hindi and English. And how much rupees? Not even rupees, rupee. That is just single one. So guys, grab the opportunity. Do not just flow out from your hands. Now moving on to the Chinese anti-ship missiles. And once again, this is Chinese anti-ship missiles, guys. Remember, and the data is given by the American agencies. So obviously, it's going to be one of those most certified and genuine data, what you can see. Because if China would have given it, that we can understand that okay, everyone tries to expand their own thought process, okay, or their own capabilities. But when someone else gives the judgment, it's far beyond. Okay, so according to a report by the Center for International Maritime Security, China has developed an extensive array of anti-ship missiles and naval forces to generate mass firepower. And the main anti-ship missile in China's arsenal include YJ-12, 18, 83, DF-21, and DF-26. and they are one of those China's long-ranged, land-based anti-ship weapons, right? So that's why China call these missiles as carrier killers missile. Okay, so we need to understand that these Chinese ASMs, that is Chinese anti-ship missiles, and the US problem or the problem with US and US being the ally of Taiwan and Taiwan being one of the biggest headache for China is not something good. Okay, so this is what the problem is going. ओके गाइस तो आई होप एवरीथिंग इज क्लियर प्रॉब्लम कहाँ से शुरू हो रही है चाइना और ताइवान का टेंशन ताइवान जो अपने आप को इंडिपेंडेंट डिक्लेयर करना चाहता है यूएस जो कि ताइवान को इंडिपेंडेंट डिक्लेयर करा चुका है चाइना जो कि कह रहा है कि ताइवान मेरा हिस्सा है और ताइवान जो कि इस बात को एडमिट करने के लिए तैयार नहीं है वहां पर नए प्रेसिडेंट बनते हैं ली चैंग ओके अब इसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम आ रही है जिसको चाइना पहले ही सेपरेटिस्ट का ब्रांड कर चुका है दे चुका है और अब यही चाइना अपने 49 शिप्स 19 वेसल्स को लेकर ताइवान स्ट्रेट में पहुंच गया है टू जस्ट डिस्टॉर्ट द पीस ऑफ द आइलैंड ओके so guys this is all we need to understand and yes before leaving please understand another thing that is flat 50% off you are being given okay if you go ahead with the Aarambh batch of 31st May that is already commenced in English and the upcoming batch that is Triumph that is on 8th June in absolutely English and prices are starting with rupees 1500 per month only. And what will you get? Obviously the top educators for every subject from Ranal Patel sir to Sudarshan Gurjar sir to Siddharth Arora sir to Madhukar Kotwe sir and so on. Right? So guys please quickly grab this opportunity. इससे सस्ता और इससे बढ़िया कहीं कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. Okay, so do not waste the time, quickly go ahead because 8th of June is very near from the Triumph batch to be commenced. And the next thing, the UPSC CSE batches further what are their offerings. Okay, so complete pre and mains preparation, unlimited access to batches, comprehensive study material, one is to one mentorship and pre and mains test series. Everything for you from the top educators of this nation. Okay guys, so I hope everything is clear. If there is any doubt, please let me know into the comment section and I assure you I'll immediately try to get back to you. Okay everyone, thank you so much for watching me. Thank you so much for joining as well. Please do not forget to like and share the video. See you all soon. Bye bye. Take care. Jai.